It's day 12 of the revolution. Is this what men allow? Giving corporations the same rights as a human being? The cheating of the Bernie Sanders campaign? How is it that he can fill stadiums of people and still lose the primary over against a person that couldn't even fill a cafeteria? The prosecution of journalism. How Julian Assange is being extradited to the United States. He's not even a U.S. citizen. And there is a huge attack on our First Amendment right, the right to a free press. This is a big deal. Is this what a man allows? American-backed coups in Southern Hemisphere countries. Will a man allow oligarchs and rich people to go and take the resources of another country? The repeal of Glass-Steagall Act that allowed Wall Street to gamble with the pensions of hundreds of thousands of workers and cause financial crash of 2008. The bailing out of control fraud of Wall Street. The inaction of politicians to act in a responsible way during a pandemic. The manufacturing of consent through the mainstream media. The outright lies on the mainstream media of how macroeconomics works. The waging of war on countries under the cover of national security. Only Congress has the authority to wage war, but yet they are doing this. In 7 nations, I understand right now. Does a man in America allow this to happen? Gerrymandering districts and suppressing voters across the country. The lack of transparency on how our elections are run. Absolutely nothing will change. As a matter of fact, things are going to get worse unless you challenge power with power. These people are ruthless. They don't care anything about the nation or the people, the people of the nation or the working class. All they care about is their wealth and their prestige, and they don't care. And you know something? They run roughshod over all of us because we don't fight back, because we don't have the courage to fight back, because we allow this to happen. Does a man in America allow this to happen? I'm asking you as an individual, because so many times it is stressed in our culture that it is the individual. It's about my right. It's about me, not the many, right? We're not Western, we're Eastern, we're Western civilization. Well, I'm asking you as an individual person in America today, living here in America, will you allow this to happen? Well, if you have a problem with it, which many of us do, then what are you doing to fight back? That's the $100,000 question right there. That's the $6 million question. It's very, very difficult to figure out how we fight back. The revolution started January 31st, and it's a strategic revolution. It's a peaceful, thoughtful, and very, very powerful revolution. Because in this strategy, in this revolution, we find true, real power and responsibility and culpability, because it goes to the heart of the matter. Are you man enough to fight, or are you going to be a coward and succumb under the rule of men? Amending the Constitution and a vote for Medicare for all is a huge step in the right direction. What I mean by amending the Constitution, giving us free and fair elections. Now, it is our perspective that the rich man is going to spend what he wants. It's not that we need to get money out of politics. We actually need to put money in politics. And let me explain that. Rich man, if you got all this money and you're going to buy off your campaign, your representative, again, like I said before, it's very debatable whether or not you earn that money. But what we are saying is that we understand modern money. We understand the basics of macroeconomics. And there is nothing that our country cannot afford, because we have a free-floating, non-convertible fiat currency. In other words, what that means is that we can afford anything we want. The only constraint that we have is resources. It was put to in the debate during the primaries. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton said back in 2016, or said that, what do you want to give everybody, a pony? And Dr. Stephanie Kelton's response to that was, yes, We can give everybody a pony, but we have to make sure that we have enough stalls, we have enough veterinarians to take care of the ponies, we have enough ponies to give. It's a matter of resources. It's never ever, it hasn't been since 1971, a matter of if we can afford it. It's always been a matter of resources. But on TV, the mainstream media will tell you, well, how can you afford it? They make you think that the federal government is like a household. It's not. It's the issue of the currency. And there's one thing that we'll never, ever, ever run out of, and we'll never be short of. And that is a politician with a good idea that's both good for business and the working class. But we can't buy that politician because the ruling the oligarchs have got such a control over our finances or over our elections that we have to come up with all kinds of money. Bernie Sanders is asking for $27 and for the first time in history was able to get everyday Americans compete with the oligarchs. Well, if it's true that money is speech, then we as a people have more money than 13 Jeff Bezos lined up together next to each other. How is that? Because we issue the currency. Congress has the power of the purse. They should be able to match dollar for dollar the oligarchs' money. So it's not getting money out of politics, it's putting money in politics and understanding the basics of modern money. And for that, you can go to Real Progressives. And they have all sorts of resources to educate everybody on what money is. This is very, very important because it's a foundation of how we're going to have the power to fight back against the oligarchs. Okay? You have to have that foundation, and we have it. We understand it. So, exert your power. We are in revolution. Do your role. Do your part in the revolution. Go to the dollaranthehero.com to find out what your role is in the revolution, and be a man. Be a man. And if you're a strong woman, then be a strong woman. God knows there's Joan of Arcs out there. We have to stand up and fight. Believe me, talking about a problem will not fix anything. We have to fight. And I really don't see any other strategy that will accomplish this, that really has power behind it. When the whole country is not the idea that we stop the economy. It's not the idea that the power, the idea or the strategy isn't that we're stopping commerce. The strategy and the idea and the power is that everyone is forced to stop for just a short time and focus on one thing. That's the power. That is what's so powerful about this. That everyone, those people that say, I'm not involved in politics, I don't care, they're going to get very, very involved in politics when they're not able to get that paycheck and pay their rent that week because the trucks stop rolling and the trash stop being picked up. And when they do that, we have to be prepared and bypass the mainstream media and all their bullshit propagandists and make it very clear this is about power. Their power and their rule, what I just mentioned, over the working class people in the world. And we have to fight back. And the one thing that we all agree on, I don't care what political persuasion you're from, we all agree on three things. Let's stop with, all the other arguments and just focus on the three things that we all agree on. Number one, that we should have free and fair elections, and it should be in our Constitution. Number two, that we've been asking for a vote for Medicare for all. We don't have to have a pass or an amendment, but we just want the vote. And in this order, because it's very important, right? Once we get free and fair elections, now you have a politician free to act and to vote according to their conscience, not according to what the wealthy oligarch is giving that person to stay in office. They're not spending 3/4 of the day on the phone begging for money, because the money comes from us. And we have free and fair elections. Now they're on the phone talking to people and saying, which is the best way, business person, that I can represent your interests and make sure that you make a good living, because you deserve a good living. Man, if you can make a better orange peeler, right? If you can make a better car, if you can make the best soap ever, damn right you deserve that money. Hell, you worked hard for it, but you're not going to freaking use it to pay out politicians to freaking make working class people poor and steal from them. Steal from them. You can't do that, right? So the politician stops begging for money and starts thinking about what's best for the working class and business. This is the society we need. That is a government of, by, and for the people. And that's what this is all about. This is what we're fighting for. This is what men do. Now be a man or be a coward. The revolution started the 31st of January. Do your part. Go to the truck stops, get the flyer, pass them out, put it on your car, put it on your body, and tell everyone you know the revolution started January 31st. You either be a man or you be a coward. It's up to you, and you will make a choice.